Welcome back, everyone. So this is our fifth video on how to score your fantasy football team. Okay, I'm dealing with week one, but remember, if it's 3 weeks from now, choose week 4. It's very, very important. So I'm going to go ahead just real quick. Remember, you would go to fantasy. After you go to ESPN.com, you click on fantasy, you click on football. So there was a drop-down menu that said football, and then you choose scoring leaders. So I'm here, and now I'm going to talk about, on your sheet, I'm going to talk about the coaches. So here's how the coaches work. So previously we were on the defense and special teams. So I'm going to go ahead and just act like we were still on that page. So here we are. I'm going to make sure I'm in week 1, defense, special teams. So it says for my coaches that if I have this formula right here, W is equal to 0.4 times X, or next to the variable, plus 2. And X means a couple of things. X means that the points that I won by, which is going to be positive, or it is the points that I lost by, which is going to be, I was going to make that red. There it is. Lost by, which is going to be negative. So I'm going to use this formula here, and I'm going to plug in either how much that my coach won by in their game or how much they lost by. So let's go to the Packers. So I'm going to look for the Packers coach, or the Packers team, I guess. So here we are. I'm going to scroll down for the Packers. Here we are, Packers. Week 1, I am in week 1. You can see that right here. So the Packers, they won 17-9. So they won by how much? I take the difference between the two numbers, and I get 8. So they won by 8. So I'm going to plug in 8 into this formula. So once again, remember, I'm using my finger and the cursor or the little mouse pad, so it's not very good. So we have 0.4, and then in parentheses, 8 plus 2. So I do 0.4 times 8, which is 3.2. I add 2 to that. Because of order of operations, I only do one operation at a time. I get 5.2, but it does say round to the nearest integer. And so I want to round this to 5. So what I'm going to do is give myself, right here on the Packers, 5 points. Let's do the Cardinals right now. That was pretty easy, so let's just quickly do the Cardinals. So I'm looking for Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are right here. They lost 23-35, so they lost by 12 points. So I'm going to put down here for the Cardinals, I'll just erase this here. And I'll erase that 8 and put in that they lost by 12. So I'm going to put in a negative 12 right there. Negative 12. Let me make sure that Cardinals, lost by 12. Okay, so I do negative 12 times 0.4. So basically, it's going to be 4.8, but it's actually negative 4.8. And so I'm going to add 2 to that. And so when I'm adding unlike signs, I really subtract the two numbers. So 4.8 minus 2 is 2.8. But because the absolute value of this one is larger, I go with that sign. So I'm sitting at negative 2.8. I want you to round to the nearest integer. However, you might think that negative 2.8, it's closer to negative 3 than it is to negative 2. I actually want to help you out, and I want to round this to negative 2. Okay, so I want to go towards the positive side on if it's a negative. So on this one here, I'm going to write down negative 2. So that is how you do your coaches. All right, and I'll have one more video for you in just a moment. All right, guys, I got an update on the coaches. Okay, so let me just show you this. So I had on this one negative 2.8. Well, obviously, if I'm looking at a number line, and I got -2 here, and I got -3 here. This is -1. This is 0. So here's -2.1, -2.2, -2.3, 2.4, 2.5, -2.6, -2.7, -2.8, and -2.9. So what we're talking about is -2.8, which is going to be right there. Okay, so 2.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So obviously, in this case, we are going to round to -3 because 5 or more, you round up. Okay, in this case, we're going to round to -3. So this right here is incorrect. This is going to be -3 because -2.8 is closer to -3. Here's where I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If you ever get something that is right in the middle, like -2.5, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Here's -2.5. In this case, I will give you the benefit of the doubt, and I will allow you to round to the -2. Okay? Only if it's right in the middle can you go towards the positive side. I think that'll clear that up. All right. Thank you.